All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into the big one, the challenge that every single startup faces. How in the world do you get that explosive growth when you're just getting off the ground? We're going to break it all down, and it really starts with a question that I'm sure every founder asks themselves.
So, does this sound familiar? You've got this amazing product, you know it's going to change things, but your marketing budget? Yeah, it's basically non-existent. You need to make a massive impact, but you don't have a massive bank account to do it. It's the classic startup catch-22, right? And that is exactly what we're going to talk about today.
Well, what if I told you the answer isn't just get more money? The real solution is a totally different way of thinking. It comes from a super specialized role, kind of like a new hero for the startup world. And that hero is the growth hacker. And look, this isn't some old-school marketing trick we're digging up. The term growth hacker is actually pretty new. It was coined by Sean Ellis way back in, 2010, so just over a decade ago. But in that really short time, it's gone from this kind of niche buzzword to an absolutely essential role for any company that's serious about growing fast.
Okay, so what does that even mean, growth hacker? The definition is actually super simple, and I love it. A growth hacker is someone whose entire world revolves around one thing: growth. That's their true north. Every single technique, every tool, every idea is measured against just one thing. Will this create scalable growth? Period.
So to really get what makes a growth hacker so different, I think the best way is to put them head-to-head with the role we all know. Let's set up a little showdown, shall we? In this corner, the growth hacker, and in this corner, the traditional marketer.
First up, let's talk about mindset. This is where it all starts. A traditional marketer, they often stick to the tried and true methods. They've got a playbook, and they run the plays that have worked before. But a growth hacker, they're looking at that playbook and thinking, how can I rewrite this whole thing? They're constantly hunting for new, maybe even crazy ways to get the job done. And that right there perfectly shows how they think about risk. The traditional marketer is playing it safe, staying inside the lines, but the growth hacker, they aren't afraid to get a little bold, to kind of bend the rules. They know that sometimes that's where the real breakthroughs, the huge wins are hiding.
Okay, now this is a really cool distinction. Focus. Think of it like a camera lens. A traditional marketer might be using a wide-angle lens, looking at the big picture stuff like brand building. A growth hacker, though, they've got the microscope out. They are zooming all the way in on the specific path a customer takes, and they're hunting for every tiny little roadblock they can remove to make that journey faster and smoother.
So, with a mindset that different, it's probably no surprise that they've got a totally different set of tools, right? Let's take a look at their arsenal and see what tactics really make them stand out. Take a look at how they view time. Traditional marketing is often playing the long game, building things over months or years. Growth hacking is completely obsessed with speed. It's all about quick sprints, running fast experiments, finding out what works right now, and building that momentum immediately. Okay, this one might be my favorite difference between the two. A traditional marketer sees a new trend, like with SEO, and they learn how to use it. A growth hacker, they're the ones creating that trend. The stuff they're experimenting with today is literally what everyone else is going to be reading about in blog posts 6 months from now. They set the trends, they don't just follow them. And then there's targeting. It's a total shift in thinking. So a traditional marketer might be like a spearfisher, right? They're aiming for a few very specific keywords or niches. A growth hacker, on the other hand, is building a massive smart fishing net. They build these infrastructures to target hundreds of sites at once to see what they can catch. It's all about massive reach and speed, not just narrow focus.
All right, so we've looked at the different mindsets, the different toolkits. Let's tie this all together. What's the final verdict here? And more importantly, why should any of this matter to you?
So here it is, the growth hacker advantage. It's this really unique mix of skills. You've got someone who's super analytical, who loves digging into data. But at the same time, they're incredibly bold, willing to think outside the box and try stuff that might seem crazy. They're great on a shoestring budget, and they are totally fearless. They'll go talk to engineering, they'll go talk to the product team, they'll do whatever it takes because they are laser focused on that one single goal: growth.
And that brings us to the most important point of all. A growth hacker isn't just a marketer with a different title. This role was literally born out of the pressure cooker environment of a startup. They are, in a very real way, purpose-built for this world.
Which brings us all the way back to the beginning, and to the number that matters most to any startup: 0, as in a $0 marketing budget. This is where a growth hacker is at their best. Their superpower is taking that lack of money and replacing it with pure creativity, turning free tools and smart ideas into an unstoppable growth machine.
The author Amal Gumut said it perfectly. Hiring a growth hacker lets you build your startup's growth without spending a ton of money. It's really the smartest bet you can make when every single penny counts.
So when you really think about it, this isn't just a choice between two different job titles, is it? It's about choosing the right DNA for your company while it's in this super critical early phase. It's about deciding what kind of mindset is going to launch you to the next level. So that really just leaves one big question for you to think about. Who is your next hire?